Hey YouTube, it's not a tumor.
Hey guys, what up? It's the Tominator here, back again with another one, and oh no, did he just do his notorious Arnold intro again? I hate that, it sounds so stupid, wah wah wah. Yeah, so cue all the bitching and moaning, the dislikes, the trolling. Guys, what can I say? It was 3 seconds, man. Anyway, this one's just meant to be a short and sweet video to kind of tide you over until I get around to making my next full-fledged video, hopefully on the weekend sometime, so yeah. But in this one, we're going to be talking about who had the craziest hamstring sweep in history. Well, here it is, lo and behold. And what is this, man? Is this Photoshop? Jesus Christ, it does look like a tumor, though. So before I reveal who this belongs to, let's just go through a few honorable mentions first. And spoiler alert, nope, it's not Big Ron, in case you couldn't already tell by the skin color. Now, Ronnie was always noted for having some of the most ridiculous hamstrings of all time, and you can see it right here, looking super thick from the side. He's like a freaking elephant, just packing all kinds of mass down there in them thighs. And if we're talking about the best hamstrings overall, like from the rear and stuff, then you'd be hard-pressed to beat Ronnie Swolman, because he just had all sorts of crazy grooves and deep cuts to go along with that monstrous elephant mass. But when it comes to the sweep, I think that there's a couple other guys who probably measure up a little better, because the thing is that from the side, his hams are kind of overshadowed by his big fucking ass and quads and stuff, so they don't really stand out as much as what you might see in some other guys. So here's 3 contemporary bodybuilders that are among the best in this area, and we got Dennis Wolf, Phil Heath, and Kai Greene. Now, Kai doesn't look so good in this pic here, maybe, but give him a break. He's still transitioning and not in the pose yet. But let's go through each of these guys in turn. So first up, Dennis Wolf. And a couple years ago, man, I tell you, when this guy was on top of his game, his hamstrings were insane. He's always been praised for having crazy quad sweep, especially from the front, but it's also very good from the side. But we're talking about hamstring sweep here, and this is a feature that I feel like this guy didn't receive enough credit for, to be honest, because he had some of the craziest, lowest hanging hamstrings you'll ever see. Unfortunately, his calves never quite measured up to his fantastic upper legs, so the balance was always a little off, but when it comes to just the hams, the big bad wolf definitely delivers, and he had some of the best out there. But so did Phil Heath, though, and I mean, just look at the roundness. His legs are so balanced, right? I mean, just like the rest of him, he's fully developed, and it's no wonder he cleans up in the side poses. I mean, it helps having some of the best triceps in history, too, but even in the side chest, he's virtually unbeatable because of his amazing lower body. So he's got great separation between the quad and hamstring and that nice round sweep. You can see it right here, even 3D bellies in the hamstrings, man. So some very impressive stuff from our reigning Mr. O. And his former rival, Kai Greene, also brought it too. But just like Ronnie, I feel like Kai's hamstrings, as great as they are kind of overwhelmed to a degree by his quads and his glutes, as you can see in these pics. It's not really standing out to me as a dominant body part from the side, so I feel like there's some other guys with more noteworthy sweeps. Even Rolly Winkler probably, when he's full, the hamstrings kind of jump out to me more. I see more roundness. It just seems to hang a bit lower, so that's what I'm talking about right there. But this guy back in the day, Mustafa Mohammed, back in the early to mid-2000s, this guy was packing some serious thickness back there. Now, this pic's a bit of a favorable angle maybe, but here we see him standing next to Jay, and you know what? I'd say he's winning this comparison pretty handily here. I mean, just look at the crazy development, like, everywhere on this dude, but don't forget about the hamstrings, man. Those things are locked and loaded, baby. Next up, we've got Ben Pakulski. He was noted for having some of, if not the, best wheels in the game there at one point for a couple years. And I'm not sure what he's up to these days. I know he was doing some commentating at the Arnold this year, so I'm not sure if he's still competing or what's going on. But the thing with him is that he could never quite match his upper body, especially his arms and back, up to his lower body. The wheels, though, were definitely world class, and you can see great hamstring sweep on him here. Okay, Victor Martinez. As much as he gets dinged for his legs being underdeveloped, particularly the quads from the front, I always thought that from the side, his legs look very good. They look massive. But the thing with him is that most of his sweep seems to come from the quads. There's not too much going on there in the hamstring area. So for that reason, I feel like Victor looks very good in these side poses, but he's not one of the very best when it comes to the hamstring sweep. Here's the blonde myth Lee Priest, though, showing off some impressive biceps and leg biceps. And for those of you who don't know, the hamstrings are also known as the leg biceps, since just like the biceps, they have 2 heads to them. And Arnold and a lot of old school bodybuilders, like the Golden Eagle here, often refer to them as such. And this is, of course, the one and only Tom Platt, probably the only dude from back in the 70s and 80s that was rocking any kind of noteworthy hamstring development, because as we all know, most of these guys didn't have very good, very well-developed legs, to be honest. At least not compared to the guys today, that's for sure. On the plus side, though, they at least kept their midsections in check. But then we have Branch Warren. In many ways, you might call him the successor to Tom Platz because both guys were known for being lower body dominant and famous for having the best set of wheels for a long period of time during their respective eras. And you can definitely see that here with Branch, just very, very well developed, massive and balanced legs. And the sweep is quite impressive as well. But again, nothing too mind-blowing here. It's not really blowing me away like how that first pick was. And this dude is Art Atwood. Some more just ridiculous bulging hamstrings, though. So it has to be said that his legs look a little odd from this angle. I feel like the shape or the lines are kind of off or something. I don't know. It just looks a little weird to me, but you can't deny the mass going on down there in the hamstring region. But not as good as this guy, and this is the number one, the guy with the craziest hamstrings ever. I mean, let's just call him the janitor, because this guy's got sweep for days, man. And his name is Tom Prince, just like it says there. So you might not have heard of him before, and that's probably because he competed only a handful of times in his professional career from 1999 to about 2002. So he had a very short-lived career in the IFBB. The reason being because in 2003 he suffered kidney failure, and it forced him into premature retirement. So that's probably why there aren't too many pics of him floating around out there, but just look at the hamstring sweep on this dude. It's unbelievable, man. Like, what the hell is going on down there? It literally looks tumorous. So maybe that's what was wrong with his kidneys. They were fighting off some cancerous tumors in his hamstrings or something, because this is just untouchable, unprecedented, and for my money, easily the best hamstring sweep of all time. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you know of anybody who can top this. I'd be very surprised if there was anyone. So anyway, that's all for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more. But until next time, homies, I'm the Tominator signing off, and I'll be back.